Welcome to FNN. I'm your host, Cyrielle Delmas. The news today. Recent announcements in temporary rules for G-Class license. Omicron variant affecting students and academics at Fanshawe College. Plus, unemployment rates have never been higher for students. As driving test centers have recently announced, they are removing some rules from the G-Class final road test in an attempt to clear the backlogs due to restrictions. FNN gathered reactions from the public.
As the driving test centers has recently announced that they are removing some rules from the Class G final road test to clear their backlogs because of the COVID-19 restrictions, we have asked some people about their opinions and how they are feeling about it. Let's go and see what they say.
I think it would be helpful as there is lots of backlog due to COVID. Like they had to close down during lockdowns when it was red zoned. They had to close down all the test centers and they couldn't do any tests in person.
Many people in Ontario who were facing their final driving license road test may no longer have to prove that they can do a 3-point turn, road emergency stop, or the parallel parking.
I think when you're getting a G license directly, I'm against it. Because when you're not driving on highways or countryside roads, we don't have to do the parallel parkings, the 3-point turns. But when you're driving on city or on rural areas, you do have to do those. And I know the importance of those.
Many people have different views about this program, but most of the people don't back up into their driveway because they are not confident and they haven't been taught how to do it.
I'm Zahid. I'm the driving instructor from the last 5-6 months. Basically, when I look at these rules, it looks like a contradictions of something and so on. As per the ministry, they're saying that those are not important, and some educators says that we don't need those things. If that is reality, then why they are here permanently? Then it shouldn't be said like this one that these exclusions are here temporarily. If you feel that they are not required, then they should be excluded permanently. But when you said no, we will exclude it temporarily, it means that you feel that these are important maneuvers, but because of the backlog, because of the frustration of the applicants, and because of the political pressures that the government might be having, they are excluding these things.
In addition to the changes to testing, the province said it will hire 251 temporary examiners at the drive test centers and offer road tests on weekends and evenings to cut the wait time. So these were the views of the people regarding the test policy change by drive test centers that is implemented until 31st March. This is Bhav Bhagat for FNN signing off.
The Omicron variant keeps impacting every aspect of our lives, and education is no exception. FNN reporter Badr Sheikh is at Fanshawe College to tell us more.
With the rapid spread of the Omicron variant, Fanshawe College had to put its plans of bringing the students back on the campus for the winter term on hold. I had a chance to speak with some students to get to know what they feel about the situation.
In terms of our academics, most of our classes are online aside from our labs, so we really don't get to see our peers, and that kind of hinders our ability to make connections, ask for support from each other. I think compared to previous years, we just don't have that connection with each other, which is really important in such a stressful program, because when we're all going through the same thing and with 7-8 courses a semester, it's nice to have people that are going through something similar.
So for me, COVID has posed a lot of stress and anxiety on my academics. With things being shut down and nothing to do, only focusing on school has caused a lot of stress. There's not really a place to go to release that stress just because nothing's open. It's hard to see many people. So school has been quite tough, especially with my busy schedule. But I've been able to keep up with my good marks, so that's great. But yeah, I'm so tired of COVID. It's been enough.
Even though the Omicron variant has affected the students' academics greatly, they still remain hopeful.
I think the college has done a really good job with their response with the Omicron and COVID variants. They require us to do the screening. I mean, when we're in lab, we have smaller class sizes.
So unfortunately, I don't really have any suggestions what the school can do to make this Omicron variant and everything better. Being attached to the screen has been tough, but I think the school is doing the best they can do right now.
As the Omicron cases surge, there has been an uptake in vaccinations. However, there's still a part of the population that refuses to get inoculated.
I've worked in the hospital during the height of I believe it was the first and second wave of the pandemic, in the ICU, where pretty much all the patients were COVID patients and they were vented, and it was just not a good place to be. And like, I understand people have a lot of hesitancy towards getting the vaccine, but really, like, if they don't want to get it for themselves, it's more for the other people around them that are immunocompromised, that, you know, don't have as strong of an immune system as they do. It's not just to keep yourself safe, it's to keep everyone safe. And I think that's what people are trying to emphasize. It's not just about them, it's about everyone.
As the Omicron cases surge, it's important to keep ourselves healthy and follow all the COVID-related protocols. For FNN, I am Badr Sheikh.
We talked about it earlier. The pandemic affects students' lives more than ever. International students who have to pay higher fees than their Canadian classmates often struggle with their budget. Getting a part-time job is essential to them. Unfortunately, the never-ending lockdowns and restrictions make the search harder for them, which has an impact on their mental health. Aryaman Sunsunwal has the details.
COVID-19 has affected everyone in some way or the other, and unemployment is one of the major consequences of that. Some students lost their jobs because of the recent lockdown.
The biggest problem is I have no income at the moment, so I'm really diving into savings for rent and food. So you had to cut back on a lot of the eating out and stuff, obviously, or ordering food because it's just a little bit more expensive. And yeah, cutting into my savings for more of rent, and even asking my parents for money sometimes, which is it's kind of embarrassing. You don't really want to do that. Your parents, you want to kind of look successful, so asking your parents for money isn't really the most ideal thing.
The lockdown was imposed because of the new variant called Omicron. The students mostly survive on the money earned by the part-time job.
I kind of liked going to work because it really gave me something to do, where now it's mostly just school, home, where with work it kind of switched it up a little bit, gave me something to do. It wasn't exciting to go to work, but I enjoyed getting away from just being at home all day, so it's definitely a little taxing.
Paying the bills and survival is hard. Not just about the money, but going to work for some students was like a recreational activity. There are mental health consequences of losing a job too.
I'm having a lot of difficulties paying my bills. It's really put a damper on my mental health too, going to work and going to work I could socialize with people and meet new people.
Finding a new job in the pandemic is hard, which increases the mental stress of the students.
It's just really hard right now. I've applied to Tim Hortons and a Ritzy at the mall, but it's pretty hard during the pandemic.
Hope the end of the COVID-19 virus is near and people start living their life like normal. COVID-19 has affected all of us, be it in the terms of money or be it about our mental health. Hope we get rid of this COVID-19 very soon and start leading our lives normally.
Thank you for watching FNN. I'm your host, Cyrielle Delmas. See you next time.